I don't know if you guys can see this. Hi, my dear ones. This is Dr. Tenpenny on vaccines, and we've kind of mentioned about vaccines before and the seriousness of that fallacy thinking and injecting live vaccines in people and even dead. I mean, just injecting these sort of things for some kind of concept of building up an immunity is insanity to them. So you have to protect your children and to protect yourselves, because the downside of that, people haven't been promoting, and we're going to promote it on our website, just the ill effects of vaccines and what people are not seeing and what are not told about what happens to their babies after they're vaccinated. And we've talked about, in some cases, are just tearful cases. Anyway, I want to do some Q&A a little bit here. I just have a little bit of time, but I love you guys and wanted to come talk with you and trying to get some videos up for you. Didn't have a lot of time on the last one. This is I don't know if I read this letter or not. I just have to, my desk gets used by different people sometimes. It gets disorganized, so who knows. But you, Dr. Morse, gave me my life back. The previous MDs in command of my blood test did nothing to benefit my systemic health issues, and goes on and on and on. This gentleman is entering the College of Doctoral Studies as far as PhD in organizational psychology. And I wanted to take a shot at you, Robert. I really like your ideas here. You're obviously, you've been through a lot. My personal suffering, his suffering went way back, and he's now correcting himself. He's getting his health back, and he's got some good ideas he wants to incorporate in his practice when he gets out of school. You know, that's the beauty of this. You can go to traditional schools, whether it's psychology or psychiatry or whatever, understand the reality of what's causing these problems, and bring that into your practice. I had a mental health group down in Naples, Florida, that I worked with, and they worked with the Oklahoma bombing, and we used essential oils or flower essences for that. It was pretty cool. We used moonshine yarrow for the firemen and paramedics because of the stress of seeing body parts. If you're not used to seeing body parts and people blown up, then, you know, it can be stressful, obviously. So there are beautiful flower essences to help your mood. I've used those in emergency rooms for trauma and stuff to take the stress and the fear out of what's going to be going on in that case. But I just thank you for that, and you all can get your life and health back. Just make that jump. You know, sometimes you just have to let go and jump in, and just full feet forward. Because if you dilly-dally and you have some serious problems, they just get worse. And when you see the level of pain and discomfort the body can get into, it's just not worth it. It's worth it to correct this and then have a life and go on and live your life enjoying it and following your focus, your journey, or whatever you wish to call your stay on this little planet we have here. Give this to Robert to go over on YouTube. All right, let me see here. I think I did. This is from Max. Hey, Max. Good day, Dr. Morse. May your light shine across. Oh, thanks, man. May our light, all of our light, shine across the worlds, not just this planet, but across the universe, right? Keep seeing yourselves bigger, because you are. You know, we tend to, when we take on a little body to experience at a place, a level like this, we tend to reduce the way we see ourselves down to that as well. And you don't want to do that, because each and every one of you that are listening to me right now are these beautiful giant souls, these spiritual beings that are only using this body and a few others to communicate and enjoy creation. You have 5 bodies totally. 5 bodies totally. And 3 deal with the mental worlds. 1 deals with the emotional world, and this is the last, in my opinion, the newer worlds of God. And this is a very chemical, then physical world like that. So you're actually looking through several layers, like those kaleidoscopes or whatever those are. You're looking through several layers to get into this world to play. You can't be here, but your body can be here. That's why the bodies exist. Because you can't, you're too beautiful and too powerful. You would burn your physical body to a crisp. So you have to step yourself down. And that's what looking through this kaleidoscope of mind and emotions and step down focused energy or consciousness. So that it trips up duality so we can have form. The formless must have two forces interacting between itself to give you form. And in this world, takes on the role of chemistry. And of course, chemistry is just what everything's made of. We dubbed the word chemistry, and we dubbed the word for all the elements that we've found. And what do we got now? 200 and some elements. Some now, I think, are, of course, man-made. But we have a lot of elements that make up everything. And I do believe we find more elements now and then. So just remember who you are and who you're not. You're just using this body. But you don't want your body riddled with pain, because then it reduces you down to not a very happy life. You don't feel like expanding yourself. You're back down in the fetal position. Do you remember me last year doing a grape juice fast for 108 days? Max, I totally remember that. I have one of those minds that the only thing I have trouble with is names, because there's so many people I deal with. But I never forget each and every one of you, ever. All I have to do is meet you either on the inner or the outer, and that's all I need. And I showed some pictures of mucus plaque that was losing. Yeah. Well, Dr. Morse, I am at it again for nearly, what? For the yearly fast of the grape juice lemon fast with intermittent dry fast of 16 to 18 hours. This guy, Max, you're going to kick and are kicking B-U-T-T. Man, you're doing good, Max. I'm telling you, this is how you regenerate genetics. This is how you dig in and get into those deeper, darker areas interstitially that is left there. This is how you get in there and do this. This is how you get the kidneys going. This is how you rebuild the body. Amazing. Max, you're doing so good. Proud of you, man. Last year when I did this fast, that smelly stuff came out at around 20-day mark. This time around, that smelly stuff came out as early as 3 days. See how you're getting? You're getting deeper and deeper, and things are happening faster and faster for you. And that is exactly how it happens. You've got, you're first trying to get the kidneys to filter. That's the first thing you're trying to do, and some people take months to get the kidneys filtering. Hopefully, our brains all together will figure out how we can shorten that down a lot. And it just takes thinking, whether it's the beet bulb juice or whatever it is that's so strong on the kidneys. But it just takes a little while, keep in mind, to hydrate interstitially. Interstitially is around the cells, the spaces around the cells. And there are spaces around every cell you have. Unless you've got some piggybacks or some clustering in the blood, which is not good, but common. And it just shows the lack of enzymatic enzymes in your food, and also a lack of proper pH of the blood, dumping too much protein in the blood. And I love this when you have blood clots and stuff, and yet your medical profession says eat more protein. That's a good way to have a blood clot and take yourself out and you're done. But if I give you enough Coumadin, then you could have the protein and you could get the blood clots, and there's enough Coumadin there to... Crazy stuff, man. You're getting some nasty stuff out. Came out as early as 3 days, but much smaller size. We'll see. Take a look at this. Wow. Pick one, plaque, nose mucus. Whoa. Take a look, guys. Take a look. Plaque, nose mucus. Look at that stuff. Look at that. There's even black in that. Max, you are toxic. Toxic as heck. Look at this. Look at what he's getting out. Still getting black stuff out of him. So you must have been pretty plaqued up. Pretty plaqued up to get that out of you. My God, Max, look at this one. This is amazing. This might be following the shape of your gut, your colon. Scary enough. See that big one and how it's shaped? A lot of that takes the shape of your gut, because that's what's plastered along the wall there. And after years, remember, acids solidify things after years. Initially, acids rip and tear. During that process, though, dehydration and agglomeratation, everything else starts occurring. So, wow, this is good stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I have been taking the GI Broom, powerful stuff, let me tell you. And, of course, the herbs, and yes, been dropping pounds again, but that's to be expected. It is. But the more you get this out, the less you'll see that happen, too. You know, I was 6 months just oranges, and before that, a couple of years of just fruits and sprouts, basically. I was living in the woods, so I didn't really fix any salads. That wasn't in my forte, but I did do some alfalfa sprouts now and then. And I couldn't break 157. I remember that. I couldn't break 157 pounds, and I wanted to. But then I look back at my pictures and go, well, you know what? I didn't look so, I was thin, but I wasn't super skinny, but I wanted to be skinnier, and that's just a psychological thing, I think. Being chunky most of your life, I've really noticed the filtration of the urine more when doing the dry fast. I know. And that Hildy is doing that a lot too. And I tell you, that is beautiful, because I think once we can get those kidneys filtering like that, you're home free. Now it's just a matter of time and getting this interstitial spaces all around the body hydrated with electrolytes, which is another reason why you go to the fruits and the berries and the melons. These electrolytes lend themselves well without extensive digestion, like with the vegetables. They also have the astringent power that's needed, so they're just a perfect shoe-in for this. I don't know how long I will go on this fast this time around, but to be honest, when I did the 108 days last year, I really felt I should go longer and dig deeper. But I thought to myself, break the fast at the 108-day mark. Well, listen to your inner guidance. Listen to your inner guidance in your body. When it's time, you'll know it. They'll say, it's time, cut. And you just listen to that and follow that inner guidance. That's we all need to listen more to the inner guidance that we get. Not to say that it's our higher self talking to us, because I'm a champion of being your higher self. If you're being the little physical body, it's like the lady that was calling me a sexist, and she was being a little female. Oh, you guys are so much more powerful than embodiments, than in males or females or anything like that. You guys are incredible beings, spiritual beings. Take your rightful place. Even with woman warriors, I tell you, for some of you ladies, there's Mary Gladstar. Mary Gladstar, she's been an herbalist for a lot of years. She has a really nice herbal course, but she has some of the best face cream you've ever tried. If you ladies want to try some face cream, look up Mary Gladstar. I think we sell it in our pharmacy, but you can look up Mary Gladstar probably online. She's a really good woman, but she's into the woman warrior stuff. They have seminars a lot of times and stuff. I actually like that for the females, because the females have been getting a lot of kicking, and it's like it's time to take the place. But at the same time, you have to be careful identifying yourself as a female or male, because that'll lose your spirituality. You'll be identifying with illusion, because you're so much more than that. And that's really what we want to pull people up. We don't want to pull people sexist. That's not how you change people. You change people by awakening people. And when they awaken, then they see the oneness that we all are. And that's just part of this whole process of breaking away from the separation. And that separation is the illusion of individuality. Because remember, everything is one. Everything is pure consciousness. And you just can't define that. And you all are a part of that incredible, there's just no physical words to describe what that is. So you never want to limit yourself to a physical body. Come on, this is just something you're playing with. When you say, I am the hammer, right? As a carpenter, I would be going, I am the hammer. I don't know how long I will go on this fast. I have been watching your vids for some time now. Doing good, Max. I'm proud of you. I have to tell you, you are something else. And we need people like you to show others that you're not going to die, you're not going to be hurt, you're going to dig and get more and more and more. We got a guy now digging in, and he's getting worms coming out of every hole he's got. So, I mean, it's like, ugh. So it's just, that's what this is about, to get well. You know, getting well doesn't take a medical degree, a naturopathic degree, an osteopathic degree, a homeopathic degree. It does not. It's simple. And each and every one of you can learn how simple it is to be well. And the first thing first, change what you're eating. And you know, people don't like to hear that. Well, I've always said a patent answer to that: enjoy your suffering. You either change what you're eating or enjoy your suffering. And don't bitch. Right? I know people that learn and then it's up to them to take action. You said it is best if you don't want to change how you eat. Yeah, I just read just that. How did that work out? That was wild. I didn't even read that yet. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I don't want to keep you from another question. You're a good man. Much appreciation of your time. Max, I love you, man. Picks is day 3 and 7 and 8. I think more to come, I bet you. Gnarly stuff out of the nose, that's for sure. And looking at that bowel, wow. I mean, this is just good stuff to show people. This stuff comes out of us. This stuff is in us. And good job. Good job. Good job to a lot of you guys. Some of you guys are taking this way out there, and your health is coming back incredibly. I'm just so proud of you guys. Were you guys suffering? This is how it's done. That's how it's done. If you live with the concept of diseases, it is very difficult to understand why detoxification, or what we prefer to call it regenerative detoxification, cures everything. And if you live in the world of diseases, you'll never understand that, because that is an illusionary concept made up by man. So when you get into school, you younger people, and you get into some of the sciences, you will learn that there is cause and effect that rules everything in this world. So when you have something that you're experiencing, you actually set the energy in motion for that to come back on you. Sometime, somewhere, you might not remember it, but sometime, somewhere, you set the energy in motion for what you're experiencing. Cause and effect. There's no such thing as this concept of made-up stuff that flies around the universe, and that God's little creature's parasitic world is so bad and it hurts man. You've got to realize man's created the terrain for this. We create the terrain for H. pylori. We create the terrain for E. coli. When you're eating meat and dead animals and high proteins, you're inviting the proteolytic type of parasite in your body. These are the gnarly boys. But you invited them in. You've created the situation with the food sources. That is what these bacterium and others consume. Just like starch brings in fungus because it's too much sugar. So it's all these things like that. You know, balance is always the key. Always the key. This is Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Doc, thank you for being such an incredible manifestation. Oh, thanks, man. I love you, man. We all are good. You know, this is the beauty of this. We're waking up to the beauty of ourselves and everyone else, too. Remember 11-11. Been on 90% raw fruit. Yeah! 10% salads and other foods for 4 months. That's pretty good. I like that way of thinking because it's a good balance. No bread, no meat, no dairy. Perfect. Just finished your 14-week kit. Wow, holy crap. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease a year ago. I've improved much, but would like some input on what else I can do. Symptoms are pain in the ileum, pain in lower abdomen, either gallbladder or pancreas. Yeah. Take a look at your eyes. Take a look at your eyes. Urine is yellow but has no sediment. See, we got to get the sediment. Look at what Max and Hildy and these guys are doing with a little bit of a 16, 18-hour dry fast and a few little things like that. Am I filtering? Yellow maybe a little, but not much. If you don't see it, I mean, take a look at this. Look at all that. Look at all that. Really cool stuff. Of course, we've had pictures you guys sent in. Just beautiful stuff. Just beautiful stuff. We've got a good group. We've got a really good group. You guys are doing so well, and others around the globe are getting their healing. That's what this is about. Who cares about anything else? We have to uplift this level. And you guys are now shifting your awareness from being the victim to being the causative factor of things. You're now starting to drive your own cars. That's what it's all about. Instead of having everyone else drive your car for you, you drive your own car. You do your own thinking, your own awareness. You know, don't get caught in those that like to steal your power and your joy from you. And a lot of people a lot of souls doing that. You know, just taking people's power and happiness away from them. Don't let anyone do that to you guys. It's not worth it. All right. Urine, okay. Bags under eyes. See, so you're going right back to the kidneys. Hair loss, partially undigested food. So this is what I would be doing, Aaron. First of all, hair loss. This just shows that your lymph system is, still involved. So you need to take a look at those eyes and just see the extent of what you're up against, because this is you're looking at your physical body you're using. And you're seeing what kind of body you were given when you got here. What kind of body did my mom and dad produce for me to use? Right? Because basically that's what happened. Two humans came together and produced a physical body so you as this gigantic spiritual being can look through and enjoy the world. And by the way, those experiences those two particular souls are going to give me is just what I need to grow. And to end what I'm doing and grow even more. So everything is set up like a clock, like the wheels of a clock. Everything fits. You're put into situations just for yourself. So realize this is all about you. Each and every one of you. This is all about each and every one of you. Hair loss, upper circulation. And by doing it, might as well flip vein and nerve number 2 on that one, because that will definitely start to strengthen the brain power. In terms of the bowels, you've got to get those kidneys filtering, because that's the issue. The issue is the lymphatic system and acidosis. And until you impact on that, it's hard to get rid of pain. You can use anti-inflammatories. You can use the antispasmodic if it would work for you. Things like slippery elm, marshmallow in particular. So you got 3 particular: marshmallow, slippery elm, and mullein. Those 3 are great anti-inflammatories to the mucosa. They also loosen up hardened sputum. And that might be another thing you want to do, is take a look at what Max and some of these other guys are doing, and gals, and just really get focused on that. Look at what Hildy's doing. I mean, she's just kicking it out the park. But if you've known Hildy before and where she is now, it's a draw jobber. She has got herself well down the road to Wellville, and with what she's doing now, woohoo! She's going to reach a level of health she's never had, from a position of being almost bedridden. Not too shabby, Hildy. But each and every one of you have that same ability. Remember that. Hair loss is acidosis in the brain. That's the problem, or in the scalp at least, and you want that out of there. Nothing ever good comes as lymph and acidosis builds up in the head. You can imagine that. So, hot and cold, usually neurolymphatics down the back, ear candle. See if you can pop in a cold and flu-like symptom, kind of get the sinuses cleaned out, but notice that this all sits on top of the GI tract. You want to get in, use the GI broom, stomach and bowels, lymphatics, really start cleaning this gut up so things can drain better. But those kidney filtration is really key. I would still work with the GI brush, still work with these things, but you want that lymph system. That's what you're after. You're after hydration, interstitial hydration. Because if not, that's where you then break down your cells, of course, but it's all interstitial. And again, there's only 2 things interstitial, and they're fluids. And those 2 fluids interstitial are simple: blood and lymph, kitchen, bathroom, kitchen, sewer system. Easy for anyone to understand. It's pretty bad when an 8-year-old can understand more about the body than an older person. I love that. I love the fact that these 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds, there's a 5-year-old on the program, there's babies on the program. I'm loving to see the regeneration of genetics, because it's going to take that to survive this future, is a regeneration. And no, when you pop out a baby right now, kidneys and adrenals, kidneys and adrenals, kidneys and adrenals. Don't even wait because we've got some serious stuff. And remember, it's snatch and grab by the child services. I'm supposed to be nice. Hard to be when you have people like this snatching and grabbing kids out of control. Out of control. Pretty bad when they wake up to the fact that they've been pulling kids into their death. Pretty bad. When they wake up and realize that they've been forcing their parents to surrender their babies to death. It's just going to be a hard bone to chew on when true reality hits man. And it's up to you guys to help me bring true reality out now. And we have to do that. Partially undigested foods. I do the pancreatic formula about 2 months. 2-3 times a day in the capsules is what I would do after that. Go after that pancreas. Because that's what you want to do. If you see undigested carbohydrates, if you see a little oily, greasy, I would do a liver gallbladder flush. But if you're seeing undigested carbohydrates, that's pancreatic. Even to the point that it actually is also your amino acids, because your trypsin, thymotrypsin, all come right out of that bile duct, pancreatic duct. And so that's a big deal there. And all these ducts and all these organs and all these glands are simply a bunch of cells just sitting together in a form, held together by form. I wonder who holds the form though. How do cells know to form the form of the liver? How does the cells know to form the form of a kidney? I wonder who put there. Can't be a god, because but wait a minute, somebody had to draw a blueprint. Interesting, huh? But it's enough to say here, Aaron, you want to keep going until this is clean. You got to get your kidneys filtering. I think this is probably some of your reason that it's going slower than you would like, because you've been doing pretty good here. I like your diet's great. I think you really you might need a liver gallbladder flush. But one thing's for sure, guys, get used to taking these pics of these eyes, because that's your window. That's your window into your body. Look at the liver gallbladder area. See what you see. If you see a lacuna and it's darker, you know where you got to go, and add that to a regimen of kidneys, adrenals, and lymph. Kidneys and adrenals and lymph needs to be at the core of all regimens, because no matter what, it's your kidneys and I might say the skin over here, endocrine glands, thyroid skin. You've got to sweat and you've got to filter in the urine. You don't do those two things well, and then you have a certain amount of these metabolitic waste, cellular waste, backing up. And they back up interstitial, just like you're pooping outside, but it's building up in your yard. That's just what this is. It's building. The yard for the cell is the interstitial spaces. But they have floods there to help carry this sewage away. Nice and easy. But we've been eating a diet that's destroyed the glands and organs that help us to eliminate these wastes. And that's all it is. Changing the diet, getting on some herbs to regenerate these tissues is as simple as it gets, and you can regenerate anything. If anybody's proved that, Hildy, we've got people that were in wheelchairs walking. We've got all kinds of things we've seen through the years. You guys have seen it on the YouTube. So it's incredible. And it just simply is, you're just reversing how everybody's created this. You're just simply reversing that and now eating the way that the human should eat. Human. By the way, our food charts, I don't have one to show you. They're all really nice. They're all done in this glossy. But it does say man's foods, man's being plural for male and female. But I will put a little hue right here. Remember the hue? Some of you remember the hue? If you want to do a little meditation, then you want to just sing the word hue just for a few minutes. Hue. And it's like Om. Om. But hue is much more vibrational. In the Sanskrit writings, it's a name for God, and it's one of the highest names we've ever discovered. But it's kind of like your old Catholicism, your Gregorian chants, you're chanting and your incense. but it's just vibrational. It's aligning yourself. It's like eating fruit. You're aligning yourself with higher energy, higher frequencies, higher awareness. And that's kind of what you do in meditation sometimes, align yourself up. So you're withdrawing your attention. All you're doing when an out-of-body travel really is withdrawing your attention from your body and bodies. So all you're doing is pulling your attention away from your body. You can't take your physical body with you. Although there has been beings, they claim, that can reconstitute the cells and make different forms out of their bodies. But Malarapa was one of them, they claim. But his story was extremely impressive. But as a rule, you're just withdrawing your attention. You're like, oh, look over here. That's all out-of-body travel is. Because remember who you are. You're the spirit, the giant spiritual being that's looking through these bodies to experience here. You could not be here. You're too pure and powerful. You would burn the physical body up immediately. Can't do that. You have to step your energy frequency down. So claim your rightful right as beautiful beings that just need to get their bodies back in shape. So, it says your bags, you're definitely showing kidney weakness. The hair loss shows your lymph backed up. The Crohn's, you get that out of there. And that's all just acids interstitially. You get that cleaned up. Keep working with the GI broom. But remember, you're not trying to pull it all out through the gut. You want it to go through the kidneys. And that's what's not happening yet. So think about Hilly's dry fasting and some things like that and see how you do with that. Ooh. This is Amanda. And Amanda, hi honey. I recently stumbled upon your YouTube channel and absolutely love it. Thanks. Now you live in Canada. We just had a sweetheart down from Canada. She was at our classes. She's a little sweetheart. Canadians, we're so much brother, and it's too bad all this customs and things are so expensive, and this alienation of each other like that. I'm 5'4". Ooh, so what am I thinking already? Yeah, I heard you. Pituitary. Absolutely. 23 years young, 280 pounds, with a number of problems, I say, both mental and physical, that I'm unsure how to fix. All right, so we'll stop right there for a minute. 5'4". I can tell you immediately, if you're 5'4" or below, you're going to start looking at the pituitary gland. That's essential. That gland, if you had just that gland down alone, you would have these other probable issues that are down as well. Thyroid, parathyroid, adrenals. You could do bedwetting. Your periods are very painful, too much bleeding, out of irregular. I don't know, there could be a mile list of things that the pituitary could affect in so many ways. The suppression of ATs or ACTH, that is your adrenal steroids, that's your mineral utilization, your sugar metabolism. So you can see multiple systemic problems granularly. Now the glands, for you young people, the glands produces hormones and steroids and neurotransmitters and the like. These constituents, like hormones and steroids, control everything in the human body. The neurotransmitters obviously control the nervous systems, particularly the ANS, the autonomic, which is how you breathe and walk and run and play. That's the autonomic. You need good adrenal power to do that. So it sounds like you've got to work in these levels. You're 23, so I can already tell you've got kidneys and adrenals. But with the 280 pounds, I'm telling you, you've got the twins, and we've talked about this before. My guess is you've got a pituitary that's down, you've got a thyroid that's down, and you've got adrenals that are down. Anyone that's 23 years of age today, born on planet Earth, has kidney and adrenal problems genetically. I can just tell you. If you find one that doesn't, I'll give them a big kiss. Because it's just, you'd be the luckiest person alive. It's just not happening with this level of what's going on here. Might be an islander maybe somewhere, but So I can already tell you your age and what I'm seeing out there. The mental issues, don't let that drag you down too much, honey, because when the thyroid is down, guys, remember this, when the thyroid and parathyroid, we know the parathyroid deals with depression. Your parathyroid is depression. Calcium metabolism, when that's off, you start to get depressed. Well, the thyroid is involved in that a little bit too with calcitonin. So when this is down, you're down. You just don't care about yourself anymore. You're not happy. Your sexual life is down. Everything is down. When the adrenals are down, you're just chronically fatigued. You don't want to be near people. You could be shy. You have anxieties. Things just get you. Your breathing is difficult sometimes. You have a difficult with the out-breath because remember, this is the nervous system. So many of these bipolar, schizophrenic type mental labels can be well dealt with by getting your endocrine glands healthy again and not accepting these labels as something that you have to wear and treat. It is a byproduct of tissues in your body not performing as they should. And we just have to show you the ones that it is. Medical community hasn't got to this level of understanding yet. They're still playing in the fields of dreams. And as long as that's going on, no one will be successful at that, using that modality of getting well. And using these antidepressants, this is a, if you notice, our law enforcement is doing everything but to focus on the real problem of these pharmaceuticals. None of these murders, none of these cases are focused in on pharmaceuticals. Interestingly, I have social anxiety. That again, gone back to the adrenal glands again, although many things make me anxious, but again, those are the adrenals. And then to have the adrenals like that at your age probably means you have some nerve rings in your eye. Get a picture of your eyes at your age. You need to get used to your eyes and your body and what's yours and what's not. If you got rings in your eyes, those are nerve rings. That shows your myelin sheaths are down with lower neurotransmitters, agitation of the nervous system, restless legs. You can go on and on and on with that. Even though restless leg can also come back from the L4 and L5, which is kidney and adrenals again. She's got depression. That's what I thought. Now, I haven't read this before, but you can see why I say those things. And that's because this is what we see every time, especially when the pituitary's down. I constantly have low energy and can't concentrate. Just saying. And I'll tell you another place here, honey. Transverse colon, right here, at least in the middle of your transverse bowel, you got problems going on. And if it's enough, it could take up the pineal gland, which would give you insomnia. And so you got to fix all of this above you, and this is why everything's related to each other. The heart just doesn't sit here by itself. The liver just doesn't sit here by itself. Everybody's brothers and sisters like we are. We're all part of the same team. And that's exactly what's going on in the body. Everybody knows everything in the body. I'm losing hair at 23 years old. Again, her lymph must be really backed up in the sinus and up in the head area, and she's losing hair. And her thyroid is probably down to kaboot. Two of those things down, hair loss. And have balding spots on the upper circulation. Get up there, upper circulation, do hot and cold. And remember, this can involve the cerebellum in the future, honey. There's the dizziness, equilibrium, vertigo, all that stuff too. This started at age 13. Holy moly, honey! I bet your lymph system is not, needs a little bit of work. Any advices would be great. Absolutely, get on a raw food diet immediately. You're young. You don't want to chew up the brain any more than you're doing. And of course, with the adrenals down, the potential for more calcium loss and cholesterol plaquing is very high, even at your age. People don't realize what you saw in the 50-year-olds 5 years ago is now in the 20-year-olds. I'm just saying. And guess what? Our babies are coming up with serious problems. We can stop all of that. We can regenerate all of that. And that's what this site is about, is getting your cells back, your body's back in shape so you can enjoy your stay, but it also frees you from the attention that discomfort pulls from you. When your body's in pain, it locks you into your body. So you don't feel like being happy or spiritual or anything like that. Understand that. So that's why it's important to grab inside of you some level of self-discipline and take off on this. You know, because you've got to fix this, honey. You're way overweight, you got your adrenals down, you got your pituitary down, you got to fix this because your monthly cycles, your female cycles can be bad. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Ovarian cysts, fibroids, uterine fibroids, endometriosis, fibrocystic breast. I mean, we just go on and on and on in the female side, and it's sad stuff. Doesn't have to happen. We can fix all of this stuff early on, and you're at perfect age to fix it. So you want to get on the 14-week protocol if you can swing that and get yourself going. But you're a little heavy, so you might give yourself a salad and some steamed vegetables to help yourself get down a little bit. But honey, get yourself focused because you got some problems and you don't want to have children with these problems. Imagine her now at 23 with this many serious problems, because these are serious problems, having a child. With her lymph system like this, the child's lymph system is assured. So that's on top of even weaker kidneys and adrenals and pituitary that the baby probably will have. You see, and it just gets worse and worse to the point where babies can't even, I mean, you see where we are. If these children are getting full grown nowadays, they're lucky. If they can swing past the cancers and everything else, these are lucky kids. So take off at it, Amanda. Get in there and get this involved. But I think you're going to find your pituitaries down. That's making your thyroid and parathyroid down. Depression's parathyroid. You're going to need this because you go having babies, your depression could escalate into the Andrea Yates, what I call the Andrea Yates syndrome. You know, where you drown your babies because you think God told you if you didn't, devil was going to get them. I mean, that's how crazy a woman can get when she has parathyroids down and the baby's sucking your calcium out like crazy. They can hallucinate. It can get that bad. Especially when you have multiple babies. And no one's ever helped the females. You know, they just stick them on these antidepressants and stuff. And we got to get out of that sort of thinking. No more of this giving a pill out of stupidity. We don't have that stupidity anymore. You guys know the answers. And that's what we need to do is get these answers to the public. But man, to take care of yourself, you're not headed down a good road there, honey. Hi, Doc. My name is Julio. I have been always amazed by the human body. Me too. And just now how you can be reading the eyes, you could see your body. Absolutely. Isn't that cool? I mean, what else do we don't know? You know, what cool things do we don't know? And how do you find out things that you don't know? Well, you can't read other people's books because they don't know either. You have to be an investigator. But you have to investigate life in a detached manner. You have to investigate life not with all the propaganda and all the academics that we already have, because we already know up to a point. Then there's a lot of crap that's just untrue. So how do you sift through all of that? And again, that's pulling back away from the mind, which is a conditioned instrument. It's conditioned by governments, schools, societies, churches. And so your thoughts, a lot of them are not even yours. Isn't that sad? You know, that's the social consciousness where everybody's thinking and operating the same. Well, that's not how God created creation. God created creation individually. Everything is an individual in creation. And we keep trying to pull back to the social consciousness. You will anyway, because you're part of the all. But in creation, you must maintain individuality, or life doesn't get too good here. I don't know where you are, but I was wondering where I can go to have my eyes read. Well, you know what? All you have to do, and it's online, or you can call the girls here and they'll tell you exactly how to take a picture of your eyes, and then we do read them. There's a fee, but I do read your eyes for you. I do all the eyes here for now anyway, as long as I can keep up with them. And so do that, or we do have tried to make some videos early on of how to read your eyes. So there's a lot of information like that online on this site already, and then how you go about dealing with what you're seeing. So, you know, there's all kinds of fun. And take this and have fun. I don't have a name on this, but take this and have fun. Get into the iridology. And you young people, what fun? We need to build a new world. And how do you build a new world? With cool sciences that no one's kind of set to the side, or people are using it kind of in a non-professional manner. Okay. Hi, Dr. Morse. Sorry for my English. It looked good to me. Besides, I think You know, I know some of you guys are English people and get me once in a while. Well, that's easy to do. Wasn't my favorite subject. Neither is French. But I'd love to be able to be fluent in all languages, to be honest with you. I would love to be able to speak all languages, but not in this lifetime. French is my first language. My question is concerning my friend Loria. She has a something colon. I don't even know what this word. Dolicho-mega-colon. And her colon now has almost no peristaltism, or whatever you're trying to write here. She is often suffering from pain, constipation, gas, bloating, and more from her condition. Oh yeah. Well, holy moly. You know, again, there's gastroparesis, which is the paralysis of the stomach, but it's coming to the whole GI tract. And what system would that be involved in? The nervous system. But which one? Here's the CNS, the central nervous system, and down here, connected back here, is the ANS, autonomic nervous system. Consider the autonomic nervous system the automatic worker bee nervous system. You have to think about it. When you suppress that system, now you have to think about it. You have to think about breathing, your heart pumping, because that's the ANS. It runs everything. And when it's down, so is everything else. And peristalsis, holy moly. So what's happened, and I can tell you that she might even have some heavy sulfur. But with sulfur, remember, it's super glue. So you have sulfur and you've got lymph stagnation between those two interstitially in the gut wall, in the intestinal walls. You can get a very rigid and hard bowel. Add that then to the adrenals, which has to be down anyway for that, and a long-term down means a lot of nerve rings, means that the nervous system to the bowel, peristalsis, is going to be on the low side, and it's hardened, so you have very little peristalsis. This is one reason why we eat electrical foods, why you have to eat raw foods. Excuse me, because that electricity will start to enhance the nerve endings in the gut wall. Remember, we have nerve endings everywhere as well, and having a bowel movement is a neurological experience. So where would you go? You're going to go to kidneys, you're going to go right, you're going after the lymph system, because if you got a lot of gas and stuff, my guess you got a lot of sulfur with it. So you would take a picture of your eyes if you have orange around the pupil. So you're going to go into the kidneys. You want to hydrate your body, hydrate this bowel wall. The only way you can hydrate, which takes some time, is to start eating hydrating foods. Well, what foods would be hydrating? Base dominant foods, or another word we use in chemistry is alkaline dominant foods, your alkaline electrolytes, your base electrolytes, calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, chlorine, all these electrolytes. And they're electrical. So we're eating too much of the dead chemistry and not enough of the electrical chemistry. Add that to the pot as well. So this person is in trouble here with the bowels, and you've got to get them going, because very little peristalsis left is not the plan. So to enhance that, you would want to think about brain and nerve formula. You would definitely want to hit the adrenals real hard. I'd do the adrenal 400 maybe at first, and then do the adrenal herbal hitchhike licorice on it if your blood pressure is really low. If your blood pressure is high, it'll be low when you get your kidneys opened up. So work on that side of that. Get on the GI broom. Really get money. Watch what you're eating. Go to a raw food diet. Eat small meals more often. Eat your fruits that are electrical and will turn on the bowel wall. Don't eat dead foods and things like that, because they have nothing to give the bowel wall to help it. They're dead in and of themselves. So you're relying totally on the electricity of your own body to deal with this. She is often suffering pain. She is doing enemas often, but it is most of the time useless. Yeah. Oh yeah. Scary part. The design of the colon is supposed to be almost like a U, right? But there's no such thing as a colon shaped like a U. No, most of them is shaped like someone with Parkinson's that is trying to write a U. We have serious problems. And the design of the colon nowadays are prolapsed, spastic. Some bowels are so small you can hardly get stool through them. Some are ballooned, holding, pocketed stuff, which might be your max. You're getting so much stuff out of there. So bowels are in bad shapes. And now the nervous system's in bad shape. The lymph system's in bad shape. You see where we're going? You see why everybody's in trouble? So you've got to really hit the kidneys, the adrenals, and get that. You're going after the nervous system, you're going after the lymph system, and you're going after the gut. You got to go at least after those three things. And in that, the endocrine gland system. You're going to make sure calcium is being utilized properly. That's vital in nerve transmission and a whole bunch of other things, including tone and the like. Connective tissue, skeletal, on and on and on. And here's the other problem. Giving enemas too much ends up making the whole thing a whole lot worse. Matter of fact, if she's been giving herself coffee enemas, she'll get to the point she can't poop at all. Yeah, everybody thinks coffee enemas are the end thing. Well, have fun, because you'll get to a point you can't poop at all anymore. You've overstimulated the gut. Stimulation, period, is not what we're looking for. If you need to stimulate your body for energy, you have to fix it. Because you can't stimulate the body with coffees and things like this and end up healthy out of it. Everything goes down. Overstimulation or stimulation leads to innervation. It's a teeter-totter. Positive, negative. That's why you ride that middle path. You're healthy, that middle path. I go this way, then I get this. But if I ride that middle Buddha path, then I get this. Everything is calm, everything is straight, everything is ongoing. But if I stimulate this, then I got a period of time where I'm like this. So stimulation isn't the answer. Dynamic energy is the answer. And that comes out of the living, not the dead. Let me see here. Since all the stuff gets congested in her upper colon, transverse, that's a bad place for it, because this splenic flexure over here a lot of times are prolapsed in people. Some even bowels hang over, fall over. It's a mess. And that would be what? If you noticed a lot of prolapsing of your bowel where the hit connective tissue is weak and it balloons out or becomes small, what are we thinking? I heard you guys are good. Parathyroid. Parathyroid, calcium utilization, connective tissue issues. When things get out of shape, herniated, like veins and things like this, immediately you've got connective tissue weakness. And that is a calcium metabolitic problem in most cases. You can have a local weakness there from genetics that shows a weakness in that connective tissue. Yes. But systemically speaking, that's where you're going to see the parathyroid down. She eats vegan and gluten-free. What do you think? She needs to be a fruitarian for a while, guys. Fruits, berries, melons, the electrical food. Salad's okay, but you got to be careful, because some people can get constipated with salads. And if you have a lot of colon problems, I wouldn't do salads. You want to do fruits. They're more electrical. They're easier to digest. They move your bowels 10 times better than vegetables. So you definitely want to move her to a fruit, berry, and melon experience here. Yeah, and that'll also work on her kidneys. That'll also work on her lymph. See that magic food, fruits, berries, and melons. It works on the lymph. It works on the nervous system. It works on the kidneys. Works on the bowels. I love it. She has a juicer. Takes some herbs to help her condition, and her diet contains a good amount of raw fruits and vegetables. I'll say this too. Someone like this, you have to put them. This is why our stomach and bowel number 5. I would use our stomach and bowel number 5 because it's not a laxative. It's real close, but it's not a laxative yet. So you can still back them off of that. Once everything is up, you got her nervous system up and everything else, everything's going, she'll have to go to 4, to 3, to 2, and pretty soon she's good, she's working well. Put her on a laxative, that can be problematic because those are stimulants. And stimulants have that, just what we talked about, innervation as its kick partner. And so you just have to be real careful with that. The medication from the medical doctors is not really working for her also. She is now contemplating the idea of getting a colonectomy or partial colonectomy, which is in the removal. I know what it is. I'm pretty sure there is a way she can get her colon to work again and keep it. Well, if they've done a barium enema or they have a picture of her colon, that'd be what if she's been to the medical doctor, which obviously she has, what does her colon look like? If they have never given a picture of that or taken a picture of that, get a picture of her eyes and take a look. You will see her colon and its design in the eyes. How beautiful is that? You can see its prolapse. When that colon dips toward the pupil, that's prolapsing. A V is spastic. You'll see a ballooning of the wall or little pocketed areas around that colon wall. And you'll be able to see the design she's up against. And so this is important because I'll just say this. And this might sound a little out there. But if you're so restricted that you're having to do all this stuff to get this opened up, it might take you way too long to fix this problem. You might have to have a resection. Am I against surgeries? No. Am I for good surgeons that do great work? Absolutely. And I'm not for lousy surgeons, obviously. And there's a lot of those too. As there's lousy naturopaths, lousy everybody else. So it's just knowing who you're having interface with you. But if your colon is so bad, we have people come in here that quit passing stool. Well, it's going to take a while to get that opened up. At least several months. So you got to think about things like that. So each case is quite individual, but never push it. If you need something in an emergency, never push it past that because you just don't want to do it. You want to make sure that nothing here is life-threatening to yourself. I'm pretty sure let me see here. Oh, it's definitely cleanable and curable. But remember, there's portions of the colon that are worse than other portions, and some can be pretty bad. So you just have to see. And if this lady's got children, that's a possibility there. Please, Dr. Morse, what would be your advice in a case like hers? How can she get her colon to work? And I'd go into something about number 5. I would also be at the fruits, berries, and melons. I'd go after my kidneys, my adrenal glands. Remember, I'd be going after these. Go look at the parathyroid, make sure that her symptoms don't yield varicose veins, spider veins, petechia, bruising easy, cramping, depression. All those are signs of parathyroid. Herniations, hernias, all these things are heart arrhythmias can be a sign of calcium, lack of calcium utilization, just all kinds of things. But those in particular. And if you have any of those, you want to fix this. Her appointment with the medical doctor is on March 16th. Oh well. No for the colonectomy, but to get a better idea of what the surgery is, etc. But I wish she could get an answer from you in a video before this date. Dang, this has probably been sitting here. I know it. When you have a question like that, guys, that you've got a surgery date or you got a date that you need to know something, call and talk to one of the staff because they know this and they can talk to you about this. And if they don't, they can get me. I'll come over and talk to you. But, don't depend upon me getting to you on a certain date because I'm trying, but there's just so much going on. Let me see here. Thank you for taking the time. Oh, thank you, Emily. This is from Emily. Always did like the name Emily. But it's enough to say, Emily, your friend needs to be on fruits, berries, and melons only. Think about a program, an herbal program. You'd want to use Our Stomach and Bowel number 5, in my opinion, because that one is, like I said, it's a mover, but it isn't a laxative. At the same time, you want to go after the kidneys, the adrenal glands. You want to go after these parts of that. I would also address the nervous system with a brain and nerve formula, as well as hitting up the adrenals. You might want to add, if she has low blood pressure, I'd hitchhike licorice on there, kick that adrenal up even more. If not, I would probably go to glandular initially to try to get those adrenals going a little quicker. That'll give you more neurotransmitters, which will increase peristalsis. You can do that, but you have to start the detox because that's how you regenerate. But that's also how you loosen up hardness, stiffness, tightness, inflamed, swelling. All of those things are eliminated by doing this. Cool stuff. And it's just reversing the acidosis that exists there. April. April, this is April coming. Today's the 31st, right? So tomorrow's Friday, right? So tomorrow's April 1st. Hello, April. Chronic UTI, urethral pain. Ooh. I have been laxative dependent. Boy, these are all kind of running in the same kind of thinking, aren't they, guys? I have been laxative dependent. See, here's where we get the problems right here. For 12 years with internal hemorrhoids. And just 4 years ago, after being sexually active, I developed chronic UTI, which has been causing me pain for 2 years. All right. She was given 8 rounds of antibiotics, which didn't work, and even went to Europe for phage therapy? P-H-A-G-E. Phage? I also developed, this is the female vulva, where you get the pain in the vulva. Yeah, no. Not good. No. And now I'm seriously depressed. Please advise. I have all your herbal capsules as well. Okay, thanks. April from Singapore. April, honey, dear one. All right. So you want to move down to our number 5. And I don't care how many you take, but get on number 5. I had a lady that had Crohn so bad. She was a Fox News caster's wife. She couldn't poop at all, hardly. And she was taken way up there in laxative just to get any stool at all. So I've told you about her case before, and it was, I had to work to get her opened up. So the same advice as the last lady, to be honest with you. First of all, this long term with a laxative is highly innervating. Highly innervating. So you've got to go to the adrenal glands and turn those adrenal glands on. That's your magic neural transmitter hit. So you got to turn on the adrenals. Well, we know we got to go to the kidneys anyway because your lymph is down to have these problems. Well, you have kidney problems because you have a chronic UTI. You can't get that opened up. So you need to get on fruits, berries, and melons and open that up. Use the kidney formulas and really keep working on those kidneys to open that up. That'll clean your ureters, urethra, everything else. It'll start opening everything, the bladder walls, everything else. But again, the lymph nodes play a big role in all this and stuff. You're going after your GI tract, of course, because this is one of the problems. So I would get number 5. I'm on brain and nerve to enhance the nervous system that way. I'm on my fruits and berries and melons because they're highly electrical. They're easy to digest. I'm also thinking parathyroid. You've had hemorrhoids here. And so it could have been from high constipation, trying to get yourself having a stool. Been there, done that one, growing up. So you want to strengthen that connective tissue of the vascular wall. That's your hemorrhoids. So that's parathyroid thinking. That'll give you some calcium, which will also help to be more laxative. Right? It'll bring balance to magnesium. Right? And you want to be careful about taking magnesium because that'll leach your calcium out. Can't just take magnesium for these things, guys, because you'll take your calcium out, and then you'll start running into depression and everything else. So that's where I would go. You're set with the depression and all that, parathyroid. But that does mean that your lymph system's backed up all the way up into the throat area and probably in the head area, honey. So you really want to get after the kidneys, the adrenals, the GI tract, the nervous system. You want to hit that too while you're doing this to kind of make up for the years of overstimulants. And maybe this is our subject matter today, is using stimulants to try to achieve health. Never does. And it just ends to cases, it yields cases just like this. And since we're on this subject today, it's a good subject because a lot of people are doing that. So the shift to our number 5s is better because they're not laxatives. But that's about as high as you want to go. So it doesn't matter how many you take to get yourself moving. If you have to add a laxative on top of that, oh my God. I generally add a Schultz or something like that on there, maybe 1 or 2, if they're just impossible to move. Because it's either that or get bowel resectioned. And if your nervous system's down that bad, there's no resection to that. That's your nervous system that's down, and that's not good. So, you want to think about, again, your glands, especially the parathyroid and adrenal glands. And while we're talking about parathyroid and adrenal glands, check out your pituitary gland. I'm getting you guys all keyed up to the pituitary because there's a lot of pituitary problems ignored by allopathic thinking. And you don't want to ignore facts. And it's not difficult, but once you get used to the few glands that make up the body and the few organs, pretty soon you guys are going like this, rattling them right off. 8 years old are rattling them right off. That's good. That is good. Going to be tough when they get into high school. Woo! Too smart for school. So April from Singapore, going into this. Get yourself on a raw food diet. Uno number one. Get away from vegetables because of this problem. This problem yields fruits, berries, and melons. Want to be careful because vegetables can get you more constipated. Be very, very careful. Another thing you might want to do is check the liver gallbladder. See if you have a liver gallbladder problem. It wouldn't hurt to go on the liver gallbladder formula. I put everybody on the liver gallbladder formula for 6 weeks. And then I shift to the skin. Because the skin, same herbs help the skin, but I need that skin opened. I'm also looking at the thyroid, so I'm working on the endocrine glands because I need the thyroid up to get the skin to sweat. Why? Thyroid controls body temperature. If you're cold, you can't sweat. So the warmer you are, the better sweater you are. And the thyroid controls that. So you can see why we're after those things. To get your eliminative organs eliminating. Because by eliminating all this acidosis, there goes the UTI. The stiffness of the bowel and all this and other restrictions start to loosen up and open as you get your calcium utilization up, and as you start to move these acids out and hydrate, everything starts toning and rebuilding. How cool is that? That's a God thing. Absolutely. So April, you want to go that direction, get yourself cleaned up, and especially with this female thing. And I'll tell you what I'd do. I would take the Heal All tea, and I would make a douche out of that. I would say at least 1 heaping teaspoon for 3 to 4 cups of water. Boil that down for 5 to 7 minutes and get it down to skin temperature, and then inject it. And do your douche bag or whatever, get your hips up, inject it, try to hold it for a little while, let it come out in the bathtub, and do some more. Give yourself a douche every night for at least 2 weeks, and keep starting to clean, sweetheart, because you don't want to go with vulvodynia. You don't want to go there. There's been some people on the YouTube that have had that very, very bad, to the point this poor person couldn't walk or anything like that, wear pants or anything like that. That's no fun. That's not right. People have to spend that long suffering. And so learning the truth of this sets you free. Remember that old saying, the truth will always set you free. And so it does. It's all the lies and propaganda that lock us in. Oh. I am 24. Began bad lifestyle at 15. Wow. Smoking full-time marijuana, cigarettes, drinking alcohol, not eating enough, right stuff, no exercise. Oily skin began roughly at 17. Oily skin, huh? Got extremely bad acne at 18 to 19. Along came, I think, seborrheic dermatitis. Doesn't matter what they call it, bro. Doesn't matter. This is your interstitial spaces backing up, lymphatically speaking, high acidosis. It just doesn't matter what it all affects. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Yellowish buildup of stuff in chin, beard, chin, mustache, nose, ceases, and eyebrows, etc., along with whiteheads, cysts, and etc. See all those whiteheads and all that stuff. That's all lymph. That's just, you're so limped up that your body's oozing that out in the form of pimples and stuff like that, and you squeeze it, that's all sewer. That's lymph system. You can smell some of it, you can tell. So this is all like the tonsil little stones and stuff like this. This is all sewage. And you can tell by the smell that it needs to get out of the body, not stay in the body. So, that's why detoxification exists. So even though you did those things, my friend, you probably had to go through that to catch up with the consciousness of where you're at and where you want to be. So you can't look back. You never want to look back and go, I should have done, because and that's what you needed to go through to get you where you are now, so you can accept what you need to do to take yourself higher. See, you never should beat yourself up in the past, because that's something no one can change. But you can change the future from your past experiences. That's if you're awake. If you're not, and you're a mind writer, and you're a thought writer, then you're going to cycle around those same cycles constantly, doing the same thing over and over again. You're asking yourself, why am I doing these same things over and over again? Because you're conditioned to do that. At least your bodies are. And you're so involved in the experience of the bodies and stuff that you forget who you really are. That's as simple as God awareness is. And when you pull back from your bodies, you're pulling back out of creation. That's when you first get to see who you really are. And boy, is that incredible. That's worth everything you could do to have that experience. I don't care what. So it just shows your toxicity. And by the way, you know, the more acidic you are, colors change, your skin changes, your pigmentation changes, everything changes. Your hair changes, everything changes. Quit smoking and drinking at 20 for 2 years, and it got better. See how that got better? Slightly, but never really. Well, because you got to dig in and fix some things, fix the kidneys, get the kidneys up and filtering, get your adrenals up, because you're young yet, and you're only 24. And the same thing goes for all you guys in your 20s and your 15s and stuff, even your 8 years, or even worse yet. You guys are got to work on your health, you know, and that needs to be the end thing. That needs to be the end thing. Getting healthy needs to be the catch of the day, the end thing to do, because there's so much suffering. If it wasn't for that, you know, it got better slightly, but never really cured. Big point to mention is that I have never really done more exercise since 13 or 14. Fell back into smoking December 14th, and by July 15th, my acne oily dermatitis was back. Well, because it's just acids. You know, you're bringing that smoke right into the bloodstream and acids right into the body. Bam, bam, bam. No liver to mutate, nothing like that. Over the years, these conditions have affected me physically and psychologically. I can bet. I have overwashed for years, overexposed to sun to try and heal skin, been on restrictive diets, and all in all, I think this has contributed also. Could have been, you know, truly regenerative detoxification really has only one focus. Now you can change that a little bit in terms of the diet that you use to detoxify, but your fruits and your berries and your melons, they're at the top of the foods that you can eat and still detoxify. Because in reality, detoxification is either a water or dry experience if you look at nature. And so we can still eat and still detoxify and rebuild. And you gotta at least understand that at least that's good. You know, how strict some people have to get can be scary to others, but some of you guys have to be real strict at what you're doing. That's all there is to it. What's strict today, you'll have fun tomorrow, guarantee it. So just ride with the bull today. Tomorrow you'll have fun. As well as this, I cannot move on with my life until I sort this out. Well, you know what? Stop now, my friend. Take the time. Muster up the discipline. Know you got to kick your lymph system in the butt. You got to fix some genetics. Take a picture of your eyes and see just what kind of genetics you're facing, what level of lymph toxemia you're facing, so you'll know what you're facing. Your eyes are your windows. Get used to using those, and you'll have your answers and your pictures right there. And so that's the beauty about iridology, a simple little science that young and old can use. I am never going to smoke anything ever again. Well, you shouldn't anyway. With these symptoms, I always get a stomach nausea, pain, hunger frequently, and constipation, etc. Yeah, you got some things going on in the GI tract, obviously. But I don't think there's too many people out there, my friend, that don't, to some degree or another. The beautiful thing is that foods, the right foods and the right herbs will fix all of that up for you. That's the beautiful part of this whole thing. And it'll fix them for each and every one of you. Each has their own level of work to do, so you can't judge that. Where someone can walk out of a chair at 6 months, it might take a year for someone else to do that. Can't judge that. There's so many factors involved, but those that get up out of chairs and get their worlds back want to. And that's their focus. That is, everything is focused in on that. That's the power you can bring to the plate when you put your whole beingness towards something. You're bringing the power of the universe into this equation and working it out for yourself. If you you young ones, hold your ears. If you half-ass this, that's what you get. It's the same with anything that you have to. That's just what you get. And so you want to fix this stomach, nausea, pain, hunger. I don't like how that's sounding. Could be gallbladder, liver, could be pancreas, and stomach tissue involved. Again, there's the nerve ganglia there, the solar plexus, so you could have a lot of lymph or inflammation in the stomach and in the other tissues there. So you just have to get a good look, because when I detoxify, I'm going after all of these. I'm going after your liver, your pancreas, I'm going after the bowels, I'm going after your kidneys, I'm going after your endocrine glands, and I'm going after your nervous system. And I'm going after your skin, which is part of the lymph system. I'm going after you. Because if you sit there and dilly-dally, that's just what you're going to get. Go after yourself. And pretty soon you'll be on the other side going, I did it. And then you can balance out and get on with your journey. Oh, let me see. Over the years, these get affected. Okay. Basically, I've seen some of your videos in relation to acne skin, and you say it's lymph and kidneys also. In my mind, my lack of exercise, smoking, overwashing is what's caused this. No. Matter of fact, if you were exercising and your kidneys weren't filtering, you could feel your knees and hips and have much more other problems, to tell you the truth. And if your parathyroid's down, you can start hearing all these joints cracking and popping. Yeah, no. This is not what caused it. Smoking, absolutely. Big contributing factor, absolutely. Acids right into the blood, no question. Doesn't matter what you smoke. Overwashing, no. But if you've been using soaps and things like that are not natural, that could absorb into the body and put some toxins into your body that way, no, this is all lymphatic. This is your lymph system. In every way, you already told it. Look at all your pimples and all this stuff. That's not all that washing and exercise and smoking. Smoking, big contributing factor. Big contributing factor, bro. We'll agree with that one. But not overwashing and a lack of exercise. But lack of eating right, lack of getting into the kidneys, getting filtering, lack of getting the lymph moving properly and hydrated properly. Absolutely, all of these things, my friend. I really need your 2 cents on sebdim over oily skin. Acne is not, I'll tell you, easy to get corrected once you get your kidneys filtering and your adrenals up and all this, my friend. And just get your lymph moving. You got to go through the detoxification process, because I don't know how you fix it if you don't. You can't treat something like this. It's systemic. How are you going to treat it all through your body? With pharmaceuticals? Yeah, that'd be a good way to take care of yourself. No. So what are you going to use? How are you going to get? Because what is this? What's coming out? What's trying to come out of you? Well, you might want to take a look at your liver gallbladder too, if you got that much oily skin. But whether it's oily or dry, it doesn't matter. It's all going to come into what we call a homeostasis, a balance. When you start getting your kidneys and your kidneys filtering, you're going to get your lymph moving and hydrated. You're going to get all this gone. We've had psoriasis, you name it. We've had the worst cases you could ever see done, cleaned up nice. Because you got to think about this, my friend. What system in your body is in trouble? What could this pimple show you? What's coming out of that? That's a fluidy stuff. Well, cells aren't fluidy stuff. So where's this fluid coming from? Well, smoke isn't fluid. That's just acids. So where does this fluidy stuff come from? That's your lymph system, my man. So work on that system and you will be A-OK. I'll give you a challenge. Since you've tried all these other things, try this for 6 months. And if you don't have any improvement whatsoever, I'll read your thing right on the thing and everything that you've done and show that I was wrong. Hi, Dr. Morse. My brother has huge balance and vascular problems in where she feels she is being pulled to the floor on her right side. All right? My mother, oh wow. She also experiences severe muscle weakness. This started a few years ago. And then 1 year ago, she was diagnosed with a stroke, even though she had perfect cholesterol. Her blood pressure also wasn't too bad either. But she had hypothyroidism and was on Synthroid for all of her life, as she had 1/3 of her thyroid cut out when she was younger, when she had a goiter. All right? I noticed that when she had her stroke, her temperature became very low at 95 degrees. Ooh, that's real low. In any case, I was wondering if you know where the balance problems are coming from. She had a diagnosis from a Chinese acupuncture doctor saying that it was coming from her spleen. Oh my God. That's because of the way they think. But follow the meridian. And she could have had a stroke in her cerebellum. You know, I mean, this is the cerebellum. This is your equilibrium vertigo. This is how you remain upright. And remember, you're bilateral. You have a different issue on each side of your body because you have a different kidney and adrenal gland on each side of your body controlling the lymphatic system and nervous system and, I mean, check your blood sugars both sides. They're different. Blood pressures are different. You know the glands responsible for those two things are your kidneys and adrenals, and you have two of them. Why wouldn't they be different, depending upon the genetics and the health condition of each one? Of course they're going to be different. That's why you're checking your stats. Just you correlate all that. You correlate your stats, you correlate what you see in your eyes, you correlate your symptoms, but it all comes down to one simple thing. You got to get into the body and hydrate it and detoxify it. If you can find another way, have fun. Now, I noticed that when she had her... Okay, let me see what else. All right, now, no way. This is definitely cerebral, definitely cerebellum involvement. Whether she had the stroke in the cerebellum, who knows? Whether she even had a stroke or not. She could have had a spasm or a slight seizure in that, because the more acidic you are, the more calcium is lost, and the more vulnerable you are to tremors, shakes, spasms, convulsions, seizures, all of these things. You weaken, you remove calcium, you can seize. You can seize. You can have seizures and everything else. High neurotoxins into the body, seizing. I mean, all these things sit on top of weak nervous system, weak myelin sheaths, and that all comes from genetic passes of adrenal gland weaknesses. So, I submit to you that your mother's experiencing the problems that she never fixed, and she wasn't told to fix them. They just cut out a third of her thyroid, not realizing that that goiter is simply a tumor from the lymph system. Easy to get rid of goiters, guys. Easy to get rid of goiters. But that goiter was telling your mother at the time that her lymph system was really bad, and that's already up in the head. You're already involved. So this pulling to one side, that's your cerebellum in 99% of the case. Doesn't matter. You've got to get up in this head and fix that. So here, if this is a post-stroke, you want to treat it as if it's a post-stroke, no matter what, anyway. So here's some advice what I would do for myself. First, I would do antispasmodic, just to make sure she's not having some little seizures and things like this. Some antispasmodic will keep things from shutting off. Brain and nerve, number 2, definitely. Start enhancing neurons and nerve functions. Upper circulation, essential. Upper circulation. These are 3 formulas that are on the side essential to this case, my opinion. Second of all, you're going to go causative factors. I need to fix that goiter that was merely cut out, and nobody fixed anything that led to that. So you got to go back and fix that, and the GI tract is involved, the kidneys are involved, and her adrenal glands involved. And being that her thyroid is down, I bet she doesn't sweat or she oversweats. If she oversweats, she'd be lucky. If she oversweats, that's lucky. Just because the kidneys are down. I doubt it, though. So these are the things you got to go after. You want to get her thyroid up, and then she's had a third missing. You can get that thyroid to rebuild itself, but you got to get on it all. And by the way, she wants to be on fruits, berries, and melons. Maybe a salad a day to start, but get rid of that in a few weeks and really get down this line, because your mother is in trouble. And I hate to keep saying the word trouble, but these are trouble cases. These cases lead to serious things like death. Your mom could have a big one any minute, and down she goes. I mean, that's hard to hear, but this is the reality of it. And if we don't learn how to fix these things, and we keep treating these things and just having tissue, the effect removed, no focus on the cause, this is where we are. This is where man is. And if we don't turn this around, guys, this isn't a good world for soul to come in here at all, at the Homo sapien level. And maybe that species needs to go, and another species replace it. Who knows? in the divine plan of things. But I think we can save the species and regenerate it quite well. We are doing it. We see it, and we're doing it every day. So these are the hints I would do with your mother, and let her hear this video because she's in trouble and she needs to rethink her position about allopathic thinking. She's already been there and no help. Matter of fact, compromised her even more. So she needs to pull back and start thinking, how do I protect myself from another stroke? And by the way, your cholesterol can be perfect, and you don't have to have a stroke from cholesterol, but your cholesterol can be perfect. You can take a statin and your blood cholesterol levels be perfect, and you can be plaquing it all over the place. Yeah, that's a misnomer about looking at blood cholesterol levels. Oh, her blood cholesterol levels, she couldn't have a stroke. What else could it be? Not cholesterol. What's the other anti-inflammatory that the body can use? I heard you over there. Calcium. Absolutely. She can have calcifications, hardening of the arteries, closing them off. Now, I mean, gets deep, and you really want to turn your mama around, son. This is real. Oh, you're a female. You want to get your mommy turned around here, honey, because this is not good. Your mother's in trouble, and she needs to view this and take all the steps to get her life back. And by the way, we can get that thyroid, I think, rebuilt. That's the kind of level we like to work, don't we, guys? We like to rebuild tissue. The road to that, yeah, we got some detoxing and cleaning and rebuilding to do, but I like that regeneration level. That's the coolest level we can demonstrate here. So good stuff, good stuff. Chinese acupuncture said it was a spleen, huh? Wow. Wow. You know, these cases like this are above most of these modalities, and you guys are learning the true ins and outs of these really tough cases, and you can't get that information anywhere. Good job. And you guys keep helping others. I love the fact that you want to help your mom, sweetheart. That's a good deal, and if she will listen, you'll get her, you'll save her, but she needs to listen because she's in friggin' trouble. This isn't good. This is not good, and the fact that it could have been a stroke, you want to treat it as if it was, and that's why the upper circ, the brain and nerve, and the antispasmodic, all three. That's just to handle that part. And you want to go after the huge, gigantic lymph system. That's essential. Going back and fixing a goiter that doesn't exist anymore. Believe it or not. You know, I kind of have to go. Let me read one more. Tenzin, T-E-N-Z-I-N, Tenzin, subject. Thanks for that. I am getting very dark urine every morning recently. Wow, you must be cleaning something out. I wonder what it smells like. This happens only after I take, I don't even know how you pronounce that, Mangestia powder the night before. Well, obviously chemistry. But the fact that you're getting it out the next day is pretty good. Also, I notice my hemorrhoid returns easily despite being on a watermelon plus banana diet. Yeah, and it could. If you've had hemorrhoids before, this is what happened to me. When I went into the raw, they came back wicked on me. I'm going, what? But if I hadn't read, and I wasn't reading some of these great old detoxifiers and the Natural Hygienic Society and all these things like this, I wouldn't know to expect that. And I knew to expect that. And sure enough, it happened to me. I kept going, pulled them in, never had the problem again. But that's what you have to work on. You also might want to think parathyroid. I'm just saying that when we get a vascular wall weakness, you get herniations, and hemorrhoids are herniations. Now, that can come from pressure, of course, but it also comes from a weakness. So, again, strengthen, clean and strengthen. That's basically all we're doing is cleaning and strengthening. Cleaning, which is hydrating and cleaning all the mucus and tumors and all this crap out, goiters and all this stuff, easy to do. And then we're rebuilding the tissue. But tissue naturally wants to rebuild itself. With a little help from our friends, the botanicals, who were put here on this earth to help cells rebuild. See what I'm saying? They weren't here for diseases. Diseases don't exist in the world of God. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. Hand to mouth. Forks over knives. So you expect that to happen, but look at your parathyroid here, my friend. You really want to look at this because you want to tone that up. What can I do to ease the toxic overload? Get on the GI broom a little bit, start cleaning a little more, get those kidneys filtering, because remember, how does the kidneys relate to the colon? Or the small bowel? The lymph system in the wall of these tissues. Remember, your kidneys are the eliminative organs of your sewer system, which is everywhere. Your sewer system, remember, is much, much, much bigger than your blood system. Remember, 20% blood, 80% lymph around all your cells. So which do you think is important? Both. But you can see which has a lot of work to do. Blood is just a carrier, it's just bringing you the goodies. But look at the job the lymph system has to do. We need to gain a newfound respect for the lymphatic system in man and in all animals, and learn what that is, the role of the lymph nodes, why they're swelling of lymph nodes. When you have a veterinarian cut out a lymph node because they don't know why it's swollen, Dr. Brenda or Dr. Poe, then you better learn about the lymph system of even animals, because they're going down too. Man's been feeding them all kinds of crap, making them toxic as well too. And if you give a dog too much protein, they'll get rectal bleeding and lose their kidney function. And they already have universally kidney weakness. That the whole canine is kidneys anyway. So that's why you see more lymph, adrenals, and neurological. You see that in the animals too. So dig in with the herbs. I'd get the GI broom, get on the kidneys, the adrenals. I mean, go after your body. Look at that 14-week protocol, how we laid it out, and you'll see what I'm going after for those 14 weeks. Go after that. Clean your body. Get into the liver. This will be the best experience you've ever had, and I can't even tell you what you'll do to your body that'll set your rest of your life into a beautiful move. When you're in your 20s, guys, you're young, and you want to be more. You're going to have to be more stable than I was when I was 24, because this world is going crazy, baby. So the stability of the youth is vital, and the awareness that these powerful souls have to help this planet is powerful. We have to help their bodies so they can bring what they're here to bring. You got to realize we got some powerful souls being sent to this area, and I've told you before, I brought a whole bunch with me when I came. So all I can tell you, there's a lot going on in all these corners. A lot of you are waking up remembering. See? And you'll remember our journeys together. So this is fun, and this is cool stuff. This is really cool stuff. But we need that. This planet has reached stagnation, so much so that everybody's just killing each other. And it's like, nah, we need to enliven this world. All right, so let's So, how would you approach helping individuals who are on prescription for psychological problems such as depression? I'd go after the endocrine glands, and they need to ask their physician to titrate off of that, or they do that themselves. If you can't get your medical doctor to help you, then you got to take your power back and learn that when you're on these, you want to fix the problem while you're coming off the meds. But you want to also back that up with, you're going after the related gland, you're going after the adrenals, you're going after the parathyroid, you're going after the tissues that give that experience psychologically. Not all experiences in the acid side of chemistry is physical. You've got emotional and mental components that are acidic as well. You have duality on all these levels. There's duality in emotions. You have happy emotions and you have sad, don't you? There's duality in those. There's duality in thought. So all of this deals with the worlds of duality. So all the pain and suffering can fall into these levels as well too. The mind can be one of your worst enemies as well as your emotions. So this is why the secret is get beyond those bodies and start controlling your world from the position of awareness, a position of the watcher. When as soon as you engage in a thought, you engaged your mind. As soon as you're watching and observing, all that information is there. You don't have to think about it. It's all flooding you. When you start to take that information and put it into some type of thought, you're now starting to use that mind of yours. And so, learning how to kick back the emotions. Spend some time not wanting anything. Spend some time not feeling like you need someone else to fulfill your life. Because if you're living your life and you feel that you need someone else to fulfill your life, then it's going to be a lonely road. Because no one can fulfill your life. And then if that situation goes bad, then you're hurt. And then your life goes down even more. Then you drag your adrenals down with you. And as you dragging your adrenal glands down with you, so do you drag your kidneys, the lymph, and everything else. So you're the power. And you just have to realize that. To get to that position, though, you have to get beyond your emotional state and your mental states. You don't always have to use your mind. Who says you always have to think? Who says you always have to use your mind? If there's a greater part that you can be and experience, why wouldn't you want to use that? Emotionally, you don't have to wallow in the emotions. But if your adrenals are weak, it can give you that anxiety, that social back, that depersonalization, especially the depersonalization from the thyroid, parathyroid. There is some depersonalization when you want to enter God consciousness, and we can talk about that later. That's when you lose yourself to gain your bigger self. But that's how I would go after that. And when you're working with someone on chemical medications, particularly steroids, in particularly antidepressants and things, titrate means go off slowly. Go to every other day or half a pill or whatever. But you're backing it up with all kinds of power. If you have to use flower essences, use flower essences when they're having psychological problems, because there's a whole line. Remember, Running Fox Farm, she has a whole line of them for everything you can imagine, including out-of-body travels. She's a very spiritual, psychic, very aware girl. Lady. So that's what I'd be doing, because you got to get them off the meds. Their medical doctors need to do that, but it's hard because a lot of people feel intimidated, and a lot of medical doctors want you to be intimidated in front of them. Oh, really? Well, don't you ever feel intimidated in front of me, because I consider you one of us all, and you never have to feel intimidated. No. We're here to share and to help each other be well. And if that means I sit back in an ego and intimidation, nope. Where's my no button? Where's my no button? All right, I'm going to read one more. I'm bad about this. I could sit here for hours helping you guys because there's so much beautiful people here and so much trouble. Here's a 20-year-old female, and oh my God. Here's Johan. About 6 years old, I was sexually abused by an older guy. If you don't do this, I'm going to kill your whole family. Oh my God. Of course I did it for the safety of my family. As a child, I loved truth, honesty, respect, and kindness. Get it back. Get it back, honey. I also remember having these 360-degree view. Oh, you get that back. You can't remember, all these experiences are with your bodies. If you allow your awareness to be pulled and trapped by that experience, then it's trapped you, and that gentleman trapped you all these years. Don't let him trap you. You know what? You're more powerful now. You've come into your own, honey. I had out-of-body experiences, was too aware of things. It's, oh, this is so cool. I couldn't handle it. Well, see, that's a problem. That might be why you had to go down just a little bit, because I'm telling you, and this person is showing these out-of-body travels are so much fun, so great, but they're very powerful. You're hooking to energy that this human body is not used to. Remember, most people eat foods that are dead, and they're bitching about having no energy, and yet everything they eat is dead. And when you start turning on everything and turning on your awareness, you start seeing that you can move around all kinds of places. You didn't know you could do that. And that's just what this poor person had to deal with it. I had out-of-body experiences and was too aware of things since I couldn't handle it. So I started eating out of anxiety. I'm now 25. You're only 25. Now having that 360-degree view, out-of-body experience, etc. I miss it so much. Did I create this? You know what? View it as simply. as a karma you had to get rid of. Maybe it was stuck in the back and you had to get rid of this with that person. That's when you see things like this, it's all karmatic anyway. It's the only way you can look at these things. And it's something you had to pay back. Now you paid it back, go drop it and go on. It's just a body anyway. Drop it and go on. You are now blossoming into the giant spiritual being that you already are. See, so that's what you want to focus on. The past is the past. We go through all kinds of stuff. Bad stuff, good stuff. These are just experiences with the bodies. How it affects us in our consciousness, can't do that. Got to be detached. It's just the way of the physical world. And I have a lot of good friends that went back in past lives, were raped. I remember a female friend of mine who went back and she was a Native American. She was raped by soldiers, all kinds of bad things. And she relived the pain doing that. It was horrible. It's like, that's why I don't overly like this world, to be honest with you. The suffering side of the scale, pretty big here. The pendulum swings pretty far down in these chemical worlds. But you got to try to get beyond that experience. Just chalk it up as it is what it is. You can't let society take you and ruin that sort of thing. This is all karma driven. You don't know what you did to that individual, maybe in a past life or something. So you drop that and go on. Live in the moment. Doesn't matter. It's part of who you are now. And you drop anything that ties you to that. Clip, clip, clip. No more holding on to me. I'm free now. Okay? Vital to do that, honey. Vital, vital, vital. My God, there's so many questions here. Okay, here's from Helen. If someone has a large lipoma, that's a fatty tumor, on the back of their neck, is this something that can be healed by using Black Salve? No. And I would not. You want to dissolve your lipomas naturally, and that's through detoxification. They'll dissolve and get smaller and smaller and smaller and dissolve away. I've had them so bad on clients that I call them the dragon's back. You can just go boop, 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 right on their skin. Amazing. It's like, no, they dissolve real nice and come right out. Black Salve won't even, I don't think the Black Salve will even pull one, to be honest with you. I've never seen one. I've tried it. I've never seen one pull one. But you want to get this taken care of. You want to get your kidneys taken care of, your adrenals taken care of. Clean out your liver, gallbladder as well. Clean up the body and get yourself taken care of. Too acidic. Remember, acids coagulate things. Whether it's lipids, mainly lipids because that's the department you're in, but coagulation of chemistry as well. I was unsure as to whether its action would be the same as on a tumor. Matter of fact, I had a lady, we'd pulled a big tumor here on her. She had a big tumor wrapped around her aorta. And I forget how big. It was a grapefruit-sized tumor, and at least that big. And she was seeing a mental health person who had an office beside mine, and she was sitting out in the lobby, and one of my clients came in and said, well, there's someone out there in the lobby to see you. And I said, I don't have anybody right now. I said, I think this person's there for you. She has no hair on her head or anything. So I went out, and I looked down on her arm. She had tried to kill herself. You could see that. And I looked at her head, bald head, and I said, uh-oh. I said, are you here to see me, honey? She said, well, who are you? I said, I'm Dr. Morse. You're a naturopath? I'm in here to see Dr. Such and Such, who was a psychologist or psychiatrist. I said, well, obviously cancer. I got to talking with her. Her mother was an Arnold Ehret fan, made her an Arnold Ehret fan. She named her daughter Erica because after Arnold Ehret wasn't a boy, but it was a girl. So it was she forgot. But to make a long story short, we pulled that out we both pulled it with Black Salve, and we both got it out all naturally. And she's still alive and well today. Maybe 20 years. She even worked for us for years. But they went in to try to biopsy it, and they cut her vocal cords. And of course, she speaks a lot like this. So I put her working for us, answering the phones to strengthen all of that up. But then she felt, because she got bad eating for a while, she felt a little tingling in there, and she put Black Salve on, nothing. So you have to have something in there to pull something, and lipomas, of course, are lipids, and that's... I just dissolve it. My husband, Robert, I like your husband already. has one on his neck and doesn't really want it removed by any hospital. Yeah, I just dissolve it, guys. Dissolve it, because you could be coagulating lipids in your body as well. You also want to make sure you're not getting cholesterol ring and plaquing. No, 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 no. The cataracts in the eye, that's all cholesterol. So lipids plaquing is a sign of, again, acidosis. We want to get rid of that sort of thing. Get your husband on it. You guys as a team, we might consider the salve. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. Thanks, Dr. Morse. Much love from your level 1 students. Yes, Helen. Yeah, I wouldn't. Definitely wouldn't. Definitely do that the right way, because it's just a lipoma right now, but what it means and what else is going on in the body. Here's one. Just let me answer this one, and then we'll, oh my God, there's so many. Thank you so much for everything you do. You are very welcome. Enjoy it, because when they're suffering, we need to fix it, don't we? We're agents of God. We're here to, we're way showers. We're here to help people get well. Take your rightful place in who maybe some of you guys really are. You know, some of you guys are much more bigger beings than you realize. I can mention a few names here. Let me see. Answering all our questions. I love doing that. I love helping people, because what else is there in life? If we want a beautiful world, we all have to work together to achieve that. Eternal Freedom Month. Oh, and for answering all our questions. If you remember me, I'm Eternal Freedom 1. Oh, I like the name. Absolutely. You answered my question about breastfeeding a while back. Oh, good. And oh, by the way, guys, it's due in any minute. The infant formula. Our infant formula is due in any minute, and the lab said it tastes great. So I'm so excited. 5 years. I've waited 5 years to have this lab make this. 5 years. I made this formula 5 years ago, and it's for infants. Matter of fact, I had to cut it down. It was so powerful. I kept cutting it down. Oh no, this is too much. Kept cutting it. Oh no, this is still too much. Kept cutting it. Oh, this is still too much, because we don't want to build too big of gorillas, but we want health. We want to regenerate. And so for mothers that are breastfeeding that are too acidic and the babies don't deal with that, don't go to formulas. Check this infant blend out. You really like it. Got a lot of goodies in it. Fruits and berries. Got all kinds of berries blended up and good stuff in it. And thank you, sweetheart, for your comments there. I appreciate that, too. I'm going to be a healer. Oh, yeah. And I'm already detoxing family and friends. Good job. This world needs a bunch of healers. I'm a 20-year-old female. In the past 9 months, I've cleaned out my kidneys and adrenals, reversed chronic UTIs that I've had since I was 7. So, that other lady that wrote in about her UTIs, here's another young female, Alexa, who got rid of her UTI since she was 7. Imagine keeping these acids in your urinary tract walls, your kidneys and bladder walls, for 13 years? Can you imagine how that acids are going to chew on you? That's the sad thing, is that there's no help early on in these cases. Sad stuff. Healed my horrible acne and raised my state of spiritual consciousness and awareness. Yeah! That's good, honey. 5 gold stars to you, my dear one. That is incredible. And through herbs and a high fruit, mostly raw diet, as a result of this heightened awareness, I have very vivid dreams. Do we have some lucid dreams now, my dear? I never told you guys about that part of it, but that's exactly what happens. Everything becomes more lucid, meaning more real. And matter of fact, when you start having out-of-body awareness, they will be more real. When you come back to your body here, you feel like you're coming back to less of reality, not more. Oh yeah, your reality isn't here anyway. You're only visiting here. So this is less real than who you really are. So the closer you get to knowing who you really are, the more real everything is. It's intense. Vivid dreamings that are called lucid dreamings. And matter of fact, the youngin group, youngin, the young psychology and all that, they were getting people back in. It was called young and dream work or something. This is way back in the early 70s. They were getting people back through hypnosis and things back into their dream experience, and getting them to wake up in their dream so they could see what it was all about. And so cool stuff. I mean, there's been all kinds of stuff out there through the years. Oh, this is cool. This is really, really good. See what this lady got rid of? And she's young, but she got rid of her acne, she got rid of her chronic UTIs. But that's the level you guys can do. You can get rid of all this, whether you're 8 years old, you're 15 years old, or you're 99 years old. It does not matter. This world is for you. This life is for you. I'm extremely sensitive to other people's energy and vibrations. Yeah, that's another little thing. Yeah. If you get more detached and more power from you, that might not be the case. You don't want to pull that into yourself. So, sweetheart, as you get stronger and more awake, you let those energies stay over there. You can see them and recognize them. Don't pull them to yourself. Let them stay over there. You can sense, you'll sense and see people's auras, and so you start feeling their issues. But, don't take that too much. Kind of don't pull yourself into that. That's karmatic. Just you see, you know what's going on. That's all you need. I feel as though, boy, we're talking about a lot of stuff today. I feel as though my spirit is lifting out of my body many times, and I'll see someone's face in my mind, and then then 1 second later they're calling me on the phone. Yeah, that. Oh, you're growing big time, honey. Woohoo! Boy, that's That's what this is about. Ho ho. You're really growing, sweetie. You're really growing. I'm real proud of you, honey. Really, really, really proud of you. And look, you have your whole life ahead of you. Imagine what you can do in helping this planet with awareness that you're getting. Oh, my God. Oh, this is all amazing, but there are much more difficult times where I'll be so overwhelmed by the amazing feeling, I know, of oneness and infiniteness. It is. I had to take a little balancing act for me, because it's, you won't want to come back. Once you have an awareness of who you are and these higher levels, it's hard to want to come back here, because this is just so constipated in every way. It's just amazing. But I am so proud of you. This is I'm reading a letter from a gal, and this letter should be coming from each and every one of you. Because each and every one of you have this same potential as this dear one. You're all great spiritual beings. She's just awakening to this higher level. And fruits, all this awakens your higher senses, your energies, everything. Because we've been eating dead stuff. So now we're waking up to life, and the energies are things we've never felt before. Isn't that cool? That is cool. That's life. Instead of going to work every day, coming home, hi honey, and the kids, everything's the same always. No. Life, grab it and live it. Yes. This is a great letter. I really love this, honey. This is great, Alexa. Really great. That all I can do is break down and cry or scream. All right, ground. That's all I can say. It's nice to experience it, know what it's like, know that you'll always have that, but ground yourself. While you have your bodies, ground yourself. Real important. You might have to eat a little cooked veggies or something, or do something to ground yourself, because you're what happened to me. If I wanted someone to get up in the middle of the night and walk over to my house, all I had to do was put my mind on it. I could get you out of bed and walk you over to my house. I mean, I quit that. I go, whoa, no, karma, no. I don't want that kind of power, because guess who's going to get the kickback on it? I don't need the kickback from someone else's power. No. I've got my sucre. My sucre is God. Period. End of story. Nothing here you could give me or show me would nope. My whole sucre, my whole life is God, guys. That's it. I'm a God man through and through, 125% all the way through. I could care less about this plane. But we're here to do some stuff. We got to get her done. Get her done. It's hard to handle sometimes. It is hard to handle. That's why I'm saying grounding. See, there's a whole nother level one day these videos will take on. And I know it. I'm gearing up for it because it's the spiritual side. A lot of you are now touching that more and more and more. So get ready, because this is the powerful side. We've just been telling people how to get well and get their physical bodies in shape and trying to get you to hook to the consciousness. But once you start hooking, you see what you're happening, sweetie? It's so powerful, this right balance. Even though it might make you do things you would normally do, like eating some cooked vegetables, but if you get too way out there, balance yourself. Get away from that. You know, I don't know what else to say, because we are powerful beings outside of bodies. And the more you're aware of that, the more you feel that, the more your bodies take the brunt of that energy. Because now you're channeling from a higher perspective into these little bitty finite bodies. Just be careful. Burn, baby, burn. But you can't stop the balance. The balance. Wow, this is good stuff. Boy, am I proud of you. But a lot of you guys are getting here. A lot of you guys are getting your life back, your consciousness back, and I'm so humbled and proud of that. But this is what it's all about. The bodies, you get them healthy because you're using them all the time. You don't want them to suffer, but you also don't want your body to pull you down. And then get yourself free from your bodies. Use your bodies as you need them, but don't fall prey to them. And often cooked food is the only thing that can ground me. Me too. Basically, because you're reducing your energy by eating energy-robbed foods. And as bad as that sounds to some of you guys, there's a level of energy that each and every one of you can tap. An energy that will take you into worlds and worlds that you just can't imagine. It's so overwhelming, and you're a part of that. At first, you just feel like the traveled soul, the traveler that's watching. Oh no, you're much bigger than even the traveler. So this is just one thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind, what she's going through. I've went through it, and a lot of you are going through this. I know some friends over in Thailand also. You know who I'm talking about. He went through this, but he says, how do I turn this off? How do I turn this off? You can't turn it off, but you can sure ground yourself. And good job, sweetie. Good job. But I don't want to be dependent on this. I know, but I don't know what else to tell you. Because in a way, it's going to sound a little crazy. In a way, you have to hold yourself back a little bit, honey. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding myself way back. Because if not, we just, things can get pretty energetic here. And I don't, sometimes if we get out of balance, it can unbalance the world. So, no, we don't need to get out of balance. Just keep doing what you're doing. Ground yourself with your cooked foods. Get more and more out of your mind. But here's the problem again is that the whole subject matter. I'd love to go deeper into the highest realms that are possible. But keep in mind, you're already from these realms, so you don't have to worry about that. But they're so powerful. There's only so far you can go. I just have to tell you, I've got the same. This is me exactly. This is all of us exactly. When we catch that and wake up, it's like, oh my God. What am I doing here? I got to, and you just want to wake up more and more because it's so powerful. You become one with everything. The old Sufi thing. You just become the oneness. You become God-absorbed. And when you can become God-absorbed, your energy's flashing. It becomes formless, and that's the problem. You have bodies in the world of form, and yet you're formless. And those two hard to merge. That's why you're stepped down into form slowly at a time down to this level. The mind, very powerful, very, very powerful, and you have one. I'd love to go deeper into the room, but do you have any recommendations for how I can get through this uncomfortable transition? Nope. I'm telling you. I've had to take myself way down. That's all I can tell you. Not to be ego, but I had to take myself, I still try to keep myself at a certain level or I'm not here. It's just too easy just to let go and become pure consciousness again because the world is in the state that it's in. But hope this conversation doesn't freak out some of you out, but you have to wake up to the fact of who you really are and who you're really not. You know, and you're not your bodies. You're only using these vehicles like you use your car. And once you get used to that and realize that, then you just learn the laws of the plane you're on. Your laws that right now you're on planet Earth, which is in the physical world, and there's laws. And these laws I've been trying to teach you: cause and effect, the law of energy, and homeostasis, and all these things like that. You learn all these laws, and you can apply them to health, and you'll be good. A great letter to end on. Just a fantastic. I can't say enough about this beautiful soul here. The awakening process of this. Let me see what else is tied to this. Okay. I'm going to end it with one more. But this is a beautiful one, Alexa, to end it with. You are just an incredible being, but each and every one of you are. Don't forget that. Each and every one of you can open up your greater awareness of yourselves and everything. And that's what I love about this. Isn't it fun? One more thing, and the only reason I'm reading this is because this one word captured me here. Hello, I listened to a video of Dr. Morse. I am HIV-positive person and I take treatment. I wonder if I can completely stop my medication. If so, what should I do to regain my health? Thank you, Guy. Guy, easy to get rid of HIV. This is a viral load. You have to jump in the world of regenerative detoxification. End of story. There is nothing else, and that's the only way you can overcome this, and you can overcome this very simply, my man. And it's just, you can do that, and anyone with HIV or full-blown AIDS can get rid of those things, as you can Hep C and anything else. You know, it's only when a medical doctors can't cure anything, suddenly it becomes the killer of all killers and everything else. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. You wake up to that. It's a viral load. You wake up to that. What do? You get the viral load out. How do you get things out that's in your body? There's only one word that comes to my mind. It's detoxification. We're at another level of that, though. We're at regenerative detoxification because we have to regenerate tissue at this time, and especially in our babies. So this is important stuff, Guy. You don't hold on to that. You get rid of that. How you get rid of medication, that's up to you. But you never want to suppress your immune system. Ever. You never want, you can't hold virals back too long. You want to let go and detoxify them out of your body. It's the only way, and you'll be well and alive well. Remember I told you, my sister who had an herb shop cleaned up an AIDS case, and he's still alive and well, and this has been 20 years ago at least, and he talks to her all the time, AIDS, HIV free, and that's out of an herb shop. She put him on the herbs and the fruits, berries, and melons. And it says, this is all of you guys with AIDS, get rid of it. And that's true with any viral load that you have, whether it's herpes or whatever. Get rid of it. Well, there's only way, again, one way to get rid of that which is inside has to come out. Why doesn't things come out on their own? And again, that takes you back to acidosis, agglomulation. What happens under the acid sky to the body's chemistry? Dehydration, agglomulation, everything starts coagulating, coming together, dehydrating, drying out, becoming hard. You can't get rid of stuff like that. Things stay in the body. Alkalization, the base side of chemistry is the hydrating, detoxifying side, not the acid side. So have fun with this. Get your lives back and enjoy the spiritual growth because it's amazing. And we're going to get into a lot more of that. I am personally. Most of you have got most of your answers to the health side. We need to move more and more to the spiritual side as well. But have fun. This is just beautiful cases and great questions, and I couldn't have a better team as all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us and having fun and getting your health back and growing and having out-of-body experiences and seeing the more of what God is really about. How incredible is that? Love you guys. See you in the next video.